Hello everyone, welcome. This is Nusha, and today I'll be doing a little video on unlearning and relearning in order to learn. And I just jotted some notes down like really quickly right now, and I just felt like this random urge to do this. Like I had a lovely friend who told me to teach about this, to talk about this. So I was like, what do I have in mind? And I just kept writing and writing, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to write anymore. I just need to start talking. But I have these notes, and if you want to write notes as well, I would recommend it if you want to. But don't take notes based on what I wrote because it's all unorganized. Just do it based off what I'm talking about. What you can just look at it to see what yeah. I just wanted to say that it's really unorganized, as you can see. It's just like not in order, because like I was writing while thinking. So like it was like, okay, I say this first, say that, but like, okay. I also wanted, I have like another, okay. I wrote something in the last page, and what it was saying was the reason why you're watching this, the reason why you're wanting to unlearn, the reason why you're thinking about unlearning is because you learned a lot of, let's just like, I'm just gonna say, like, you learned a lot of bullshit. Like, I don't know how, I don't know another word. I don't know another word for it. You learned a lot of stuff that you that's not helping you in your life. So now you need to unlearn it because you want to learn new things, and you feel like you have these beliefs or these thoughts. Like you have like you want to unlearn. Okay, this is how you do it. So step 1, right here. I know this is step 1, right in the middle. So reflecting is very necessary, and journaling, writing. If you don't want to write, then just reflect. Journaling helps with reflecting. Just writing. You don't need a notebook. Just get a piece of paper. So ask yourself, what do I believe about myself? And what do I believe about others? What do I believe about the world, about society, about love, about money, about hate? And then go on and on and on. Like, just keep going, etc., etc. What do you believe about this? What do you believe about that? What do you believe about God? What do you believe about just animals? Like, I don't know, you just anything. Just keep going on and on and on and on and on. And ask yourself, why do I believe in this? Why? So first you ask yourself, what do I believe in? What do I believe about myself? What are the thoughts I have about myself? What are the beliefs I have about myself? What are the beliefs I have about my life? And what are the beliefs I have just about life in general? What do you believe about all of these things? And when I was writing this, I was thinking this is kept hearing like philosophy in my head. Because philosophy is always like asking the question like, why? I feel like in a way, if you want to learn, you kind of have to ask why. You kind of have to be more philosophical, right? You want to understand all the perspectives. You want to understand what's going on. You want to be more aware about something. You have to ask why and how, like, what's going on. It's kind of like it's getting under the situation. I feel like the first step is like the most important. And I also want to say right here, so what you see right here, learning about yourself, is the first step to learn and understand anything else especially when it comes to spirituality, as it is a personal journey. I mean, life is a personal journey. It doesn't really matter about spirituality. I just wrote spirituality because like I was just thinking about spirituality when I was writing this, but it could be about anything. It really, I mean, like life is a personal journey, and no matter what you learn about, I really do believe learning about yourself, you get to learn more, you get to understand more into full capacity, and in ways like, you know, you understand more, and it's not like you, it's also, so this is the first step, because you know, how can you understand, like, if you don't know yourself, then that's how you get to this stage here where you're wanting to unlearn, because you learn from external sources of things that you don't want to learn. Because remember when I said in the beginning about how you're wanting to unlearn because you learned some things you know is not serving you. And so how can you know what's serving you? How can you know what's right and what's wrong? How can you know like what's right and wrong for you? How can you know if you don't know you? So this is what we're doing right here. We're trying to get to know you. Well, I'm not trying to get to know you. You're trying to get to know yourself. We're trying to all get to know ourselves here, okay? And I also wrote, I don't know if I wrote it here. No, I didn't write it here, but I wrote somewhere in my notes about learning about yourself the way you learn about someone else. You know, asking yourself, like, you know, when you learn about someone, you're asking them questions. Like, that's how you learn about them. You're like, what's your favorite color? Like, I don't know, like, do you believe in God? Why do you believe in God? Like, okay, ask yourself, do you believe in God? Do you believe in yourself? Why do you believe in yourself? And why don't you? Do you believe in God? Why do you want? Just keep asking yourself questions. You can just sit down and like reflect, but I would recommend it, like writing it out. And then we have you know, ask yourself, like, what did you learn from this process? Oh wait, sorry, wait, no wait, okay, so wait, we go here. See, this is why I said don't follow my notes, they're disorganized. Okay, so I'm gonna follow the arrows. So the arrows go here. So it says, go back, reflect, challenge what you've learned. What did it come from? Where did it come from? I literally wrote this myself, and I'm acting like this, like I'm reading this for the first time. Okay, well, I'm reading it for the first time. But anyways, where did it come from? What does this serve my life? Why did I believe this? And how does it affect me now? You can tell I wrote this very like I just, you know. But anyways, that's not the point. This is not about the writing. This is not about writing. So don't. Okay, so we also have who taught me this? Who taught me this? Ask yourself that. Who taught me this? What taught me this? Like where did I learn this from? Why do I believe this? Like why, how does it affect me? Why did I like learn this, okay? And then now you ask, after you asking all these questions about yourself, you're asking all these questions about yourself. Now ask yourself, what did you learn from all of this? From asking all these questions, what did you learn? Because everyone's going to have a different answer. Everyone's going to have a different answer. Some people are going to say, okay, I don't know, but I'm going to use myself as an example, because I don't know what other people would say. But for me, what I learned from my unlearning, because I was in a process in my life where I was like, I was obsessed with unlearning and relearning, because I'm like, wow, like I like had a realization. I'm like, wow, I learned a lot of stupid stuff. And like it was like from just other people in my life, and but I was like, why did I choose to like believe in it? And like why did I like what was going on? But also like, you know, especially like as children, like we learn a lot of stupid stuff. We see a lot of stuff on the TV. Like I I wrote I wrote your parents, people, media, society, books, school, everything, just to give you like examples of you know, examples of where you're gonna learn things from. You know, it goes deeper, like everywhere, right? You can learn from everything, and it's also, but you know, it's also the other way around. Like, people are trying to teach you everything. There's places trying to teach you, but it's like you don't need to learn everything that's being taught to you, right? And cause like, okay, so for me, right, what I learned is I was watching the shows I used to watch as a child, and I'm like, yo, this is not good. Like, this is not for children. Like, this is really unhealthy and really disturbing. And like, when I was watching this, like, it was teaching me that these things were normal, but it wasn't. So then I learned that it was normal. So you see what's going on here. You're recognizing where you learned certain things and how it affected you, and then how it affected your entire life because of it. If it did, or like, you know, probably did, or just in any way, or like, even if it was just thinking it's normal when it's not, thinking that something is normal when it's not, thinking something is okay when it's not, when you know that's not okay for you, because when you look back, you're probably like, whoa, that's not okay. There's gonna be a lot of things you're gonna be like, whoa, that's not okay. Like, whoa, like, I don't agree with that now. Like, oh wow, I can't believe like I learned this. Like, think about like elementary school. Like, maybe, like, I'm gonna be honest, in elementary school I had some teachers that I was like, I can't believe they would say that. I can't believe they would like teach certain things. But like, you know, it's this is the process of unlearning. Like, we have to take responsibility in unlearning. So let's go to the next page. Wait, hold on. I feel like I missed. Like, I feel like I was missing something. I was talking about. Okay, yeah. I don't know if I said this. Okay, so you are now in the process of unlearning and recognizing and being aware. Congratulations. Yes, I just wanted to say that to everyone here. And that, I mean, that's like watching this, and also, yeah, asking yourself, what did you like, what did you learn from this process? Because and I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be so many things. You're gonna discover so many things. Like, it's endless. Like, I can talk about this all day long. I can talk about so many things that I've unlearned. There's a lot of people that are talking about this, and you know, that's why I wanted to also share a little bit of like to kind of help people, if I if hopefully if it does help people to kind of go on that path to unlearning and relearning, because it's a very beautiful path. And because like, I feel like we all love learning. um I wrote here, learning is endless, remember this. There's always more to learn as much as you can. That is what we're all here to do. And you know, I was saying we all love learning, like as our souls just love to learn. Like, all of our souls love to learn, animals love to learn, and you know, us as humans love to learn. But like, I'm just saying, like, all of us love to learn. You know, I know that. Anyways, okay, I'm not gonna go too deep into spirituality. We're just gonna focus on this. Okay, so learning is endless. So even when you learn about yourself, know that it's not gonna be a point where, even about learning about anything, you're not gonna get to a point where you're like, okay, I learned everything that there is to know in the world, or that there's like, or I learned everything that I could learn. Like, I'm done. I'm good. Like, I'm done learning for the rest of my life. Like, I learned enough, or like, I learned enough about myself. Like, that's not gonna happen. That's never gonna happen because like that's never gonna happen. Like your whole existence is about your learning. Like your spirit loves to learn. Like your spirit is always learning. Sorry for bringing this about spirituality, but your soul, you just love you. Like we all just love to learn, and it's endless because, like I said, like if you don't want to learn, like what are you here for? Like there's nothing. Like what are you here for? Like what is there to do? What is there really to do? Like nothing. What is there to experience? What is there to feel? Like what is there to like do? Nothing. Like you're just like no. You're here to learn. We're all here to learn, and know that it's gonna be endless. And so enjoy that process because, and also knowing that it's knowing that, like for example, for yourself, like hey, like I don't really, I don't know myself 100% because there's more to learn. I don't know myself 100% because there's more to learn. And when I say I don't know myself 100%, I don't mean it in a way like I don't know myself. When I'm talking about me, I know myself. I know who I am. And when I'm talking about you, like I'm sure you, I hope like you know yourself too, and I'm sure you do. And what I'm trying to say is like we're always learning more about ourselves. Like one day, I wrote here like you're constantly changing, just like your beliefs and just like new knowledge, and that replaces the past. So what I was writing here, what I was talking about is like how learning is endless, and when you're learning about yourself, it's endless because we're constantly changing. And so that's what I was saying, how you don't really know yourself 100% in the sense of like I can say I know who I am. Yes, I know who I am now, but I don't know who I'm gonna be in like 10 years. I'm gonna be a different person. I'm not gonna be the same person. You're not gonna be the same person in 10 years. So like that's just kind of what I mean is like who I am now and who you are right now in this moment, this second right now, this exact moment right now as I'm saying this. Like this is not just this is not just our being. Like that's not just who we are right now in this moment. We are way more than that. And that's what you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn that you're not. You're gonna learn that you're way more. And even when you ask yourself like what do I believe about myself, are you like, do you just hold certain like identities to yourself? Like who are you without any identity? Who are you without any like physical form? Who are you without any physical material success or like things or interests or hobbies? Like who are you without any geographical location attached to you, where if it's like where you're from or where you live? Like who are you, beyond the language you speak, like all in the culture you love, like you love the food you eat, like all of these things, right? Who are you like deep down? Because I feel like personally, this is just my opinion, I feel like who we are like as a soul, like deep down, like that kind of never really changes. Like when you know like your own energy, right? Like your personality will change, like your beliefs will change, like a lot of things will change, but I feel like your true essence won't. And like you really need to know who that really is. And I told myself not to get into spirituality, and I did. I'm so sorry. Okay, so when you learn from external sources, be open. So if you're learning from other people, if you're learning from a book, if you're learning from a movie, documentary, like whatever it is, whatever you're learning from, like, so I said now. So now you're taking the step to. Wait, hold on. Actually, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go here. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm gonna change my mind. We're gonna go here. So, what is going on here? Sorry, I was just confused by my notes. I feel like okay, that now I know, I was just really confused. See, this is why you don't write in black. This is why you don't write all in black, because then everything is just like, like you just like you okay, anyways. Let's talk about relearning first, and then we're going to talk about learning, because this is the number one. It's unlearning and reflecting. I'm so sorry this is so unorganized. I wish it was. I wish it was like more organized, but like it's not. Okay, but step one, reflect and unlearn. Ask yourself, why? What do I learn? Why did I learn this? Step two. Wait, what am I? What I? Okay, relearning, and then learning. Relearning and learning. I feel like that's the same thing, isn't it? See, I'm so sorry. Like I'm just like I'm learning too. I'm learning while I'm doing this. I'm literally, yes, I'm learning while I'm doing this. I'm learning a lot. And what I'm learning is that relearning and learning is pretty much the same things. I'm not going to confuse myself. I'm so sorry you had to witness that. Okay, but it's fine. I'm not gonna apologize. I take that back. See? I learned that saying sorry for things like that is so stupid. Like I'm not like saying I'm stupid. I'm just saying that's fucking stupid. Like who cares, right? Who cares? Now let's just continue on with the. Okay, let's just continue on. Relearning, like learning. Okay, now you're ready to learn. Okay, you're ready to learn again. You're ready to relearn, and this is also about like like bringing in new thoughts, right? Bringing in new things that you want to learn, and things that yeah, I wrote you had to unlearn because the things that you were learning were, and I wrote like right affirmations are really good for learning, like relearning, like in the sense of like when you're unlearning, say for example you're unlearning self-hatred. Okay, then what do you have to learn? You have to learn self-love. So how can you learn self-love if like you have a lot of negative thoughts about yourself? You have a lot of negative beliefs about yourself because that's what you learned. Well, you're going to have to create new thoughts. You're going to have to create new beliefs. And affirmations are very, very good for that. And, writing them down, saying them aloud, and do it daily and make it, like, be committed to it, because this will really, really, like trust me, like, this really, really works. Like, I've done this for a couple of years now, and it really helps me. And it's almost like instantly sometimes, like, it's instant sometimes, like, recently, like, where I'll feel a difference, because it's all about like believing in it. The more you say it, you'll believe in it, because just like how you learned those things, you believed in it because you're hearing it so much, you're being told it a lot, whatever, right? Now you have to relearn. And I heard in my head, like, brainwash. So brainwashing, it's like, think of it in a way of like positive brainwashing, right? Because brainwashing is kind of like forcing someone to learn something, right? And so like it's kind of like relearning and like unlearning, and all of this work and that I'm talking about right now is kind of like it's like positive brainwashing in a way. Like, think of it like that. If it helps you, I don't know, like it helps me think of it that way, because I'm like, I like it, because I'm like, yeah, I want to like it's not like a negative way. It's like I'm actually washing my brain. I'm washing away the negative stuff. I'm washing away the things that don't serve me, and I'm putting in new things, because you have to like realize you have to replace it with new things. You can't just have the empty brain. You know what I mean? And so affirmations really are the key, and like I said, do them daily. Stay committed. And I said, you can do other videos, like you can watch people's videos, that like people that make affirmation videos and like subliminals and stuff. You can watch their videos, but I said make sure that you know double check their affirmations, what they're writing, just so if it's aligned with you. just make sure it's aligned with you, because sometimes um I'll go on like I'll like I like sometimes I want to like listen to people's like speaking affirmations to me so I can just listen to it. And then like some people, like they just like their affirmations are just not aligned with what I want. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's just like I just don't want what they want. So it's like that's why I say like I feel like doing it more personal, like writing it yourself or speaking them out yourself is better. Or make sure you just, I'm not saying not all of them are aligned, like there are a lot of like amazing videos out there. I'm just saying make sure like just keep yourself in check. But also at the same time, if you're like just starting this out, I would say just start with your own, because personal is always the best. It's always the best. It's always the best because like that's what you want. Like that's like your affirmations. And especially with learning and unlearning, you can make it very, very, very personal with what you want to learn. And that's why I say it, make it personal, because it's just going to be better. It's just going to be way, way better because it's going to be more personal and less like general and that kind of stuff, and more aligned with you. And anyways, I also hear music and media and not participating in the same things because it doesn't serve you, because now you learned how it affects you. So yeah, it doesn't have to be just music and media, but I just wrote that as an example because that's what popped up in my head. For me, that in my unlearning and relearning and learning and all this stuff process, I I stopped. Well, I stopped listening to certain music. I stopped watching certain movies. I stopped watching movies altogether. I'm gonna be honest. I stopped watching TV shows altogether. It's not that because I don't like them. I just like I like some of them, but like I just like I learned a lot. I learned a lot about how certain. But like I said, it's not like I said. I still watch some. Like, I'm just so picky, but like I rarely do it. I rarely watch media, but that doesn't matter. We're talking about learning and unlearning. But with the negative stuff, like no, like I learned how certain music and certain movies and certain TV shows and certain media and just certain energies in general, certain people, certain beliefs, certain blah blah blah, whatever, just wasn't aligned with me. And I like what I had to also realize in order to stay on this path of unlearning, and to actually like learn more stuff, is to not participate in the same things that was teaching me things I don't want to learn. Because when you're in this process, like when you're fresh in this process, you need to be strict with yourself. That's why I said, be wary of like the videos you watch, be wary of like the music you listen to, be wary, because like especially when you're fresh in this process and you're unlearning, you don't want to learn a lot of, like you don't want to learn that stuff. You want to just be strict right now. You want to be strict, because I feel like that's why I kind of wanted to avoid talking about this, because I feel like this is still in the process of this is still not really going out external sources. It's still doing the self work of affirmations and asking yourself, what do you want to learn? What do you want to like writing, like what do I learn now? Like what do I believe now? And cutting certain things out, cutting certain beliefs out. And now we got to like right here, so now you're ready to learn. Okay, now you cut the things out, you unlearned it, you unlearned the stuff. Now you're learning, you're retraining your brain, and you're you're learning new things about yourself. And you're committed to this, and you're telling yourself like, yeah, I'm doing the work, I'm amazing, I'm amazing, I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna learn what's right. And then now you're here, okay? So now you're ready to learn. You're ready to learn. You're ready to learn. not just from yourself, because like I said, learning is endless. You're still learning about yourself, but now you're like, okay, now I can learn from external sources without being affected in this way where I have to unlearn from it. Okay, that's what you want to do. You want to get to a point where you can go to these external sources without having to unlearn and do all of this work. So when you learn from external sources, and this is why I said learning about yourself is important, because you can't get here if you don't do all of that. Because if you go here right away, you're just going to be like, I don't know, understand what's going on. I don't know what I'm learning. And you have to admit that too. We've all had classes, for example, where we didn't understand what the teacher was saying. If you can't admit that you don't know what the teacher is saying, then you can't learn, you know? If you don't ask the teacher, like, what's going on, if you don't, or ask someone, or try to, like, understand in some way, like, you won't be able to learn, right? If you don't do something to understand more, you won't be able to learn. If you just sit there and you're just like, you pretend to learn, you understand, but you don't, then you're not going to be able to learn. And that's why I said there's so much work involved, and self-work involved in knowing yourself, because it's knowing in what's the truth and what's not. And so right here, so we have when you learn from external sources, be open, learn from all, because you can learn from all. You can learn from everything. You can learn from everyone. You can learn from all experiences if you're open. If you're open. And I said, question it all. Be like, question it all. Question your own beliefs. I question myself all the time. And not in a way where it's like you're suspicious of everything. I mean, like, question it, and it's like, why? Why do people believe in this? Why do I believe in this? Why do people do that? Why do I do that? And I also wrote, learn from opposing beliefs, and also learn from opposing beliefs from other people, or or just opposing knowledge, like things you don't really care about. And I wrote, like, what do you think that's not important? Ask yourself, why isn't it important? Because you can learn from everything if you let yourself. And I also wrote, no, you don't have to believe that in something in order to learn from. You don't have to believe in someone or something in order to learn from them. Let yourself learn freely. Unlimit your mind. Let it go to far, imaginative, limitless places. Wow. Okay, so I don't know why my brain just like stopped for a second. Okay, so when you when you learn from external, I think I was just thinking too hard. I was just thinking too hard for a second. So, you know when you have like multiple tabs on in your laptop, or like your phone, or like whatever, like your computer, I have that in my brain, and then sometimes it just freezes. Like, when there's like just too much going on in your computer, and it just freezes because like it's like, whoa, like this is too much. Like, that's me sometimes. So I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Anyways, when you learn from external sources, be open. And when I was writing this, what I was thinking about was how in my process of unlearning what I learned was, I came across a lot of people who had opposing beliefs in me, who had beliefs that triggered me, beliefs that made me a little angry, a little intimidated, a little scared, a little confused. But at the same time, I was intrigued, because I was like, if it was like years and years before, like I was not on this journey and wanting to wanting to actually learn, like being aware of like wanting to learn, I would not be be open to it. But then, like, I just felt intrigued, like my soul was telling me, like, you need to listen to these people, even if you don't believe them. You don't have to believe them, you don't have to agree with them. Just listen. Just listen. And I started listening, and I started learning a lot. Trust me, you can like you can learn from all. You gotta kind of become the observer, and the observer of yourself, because you can't observe others if you can't even observe yourself. And I just wanted to reiterate that a lot, just so, it gets in people's heads. And like, I feel like a lot of people, they might be like, why would I want to listen to someone that has an opposite belief as me or an opposite opinion as me? And it's like, I thought that too. I thought that too when I got so angry. I remember, like, I used to get so angry, like, not like angry, but I would just be like irritated. I'm like, ugh, like, I can't believe that person would say that or think that way or teach this or blah 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 blah, right? But then something kept intriguing me to keep listening. And I'm like, why? Like, I don't want to listen to them. Like, I can't learn from them. Like, I don't, we don't relate. Like, I don't agree with them. Like, how can I learn from that person? But then I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna be open. I'm gonna be open. I don't have to agree with them. I don't have to believe them. But I'm just gonna learn. I'm just gonna see what I learn. I'm just gonna be open. And then, bam, I started learning a lot. I started learning way more than I have ever learned, because before I was just learning in my comfort zones. I was just learning from people that knew similar things that I knew. Like, I was just learning it in my comfort zone. I was just learning about the things I already knew. You know what I mean? Like, it was just not really much learning. It was just kind of, or just learning a little more about what I knew. But it was just, like I said, there was just more I wanted, and that's where it came from. When I was understanding all perspectives, when I was understanding different perspectives, when I was understanding the whole picture, or like just so many things. And like, it's just like, it's wild, because I don't know, if I could talk to my younger self, I would be like, like, just listen to those people, like, listen. Well, like, obviously I learned before, like, only listen to certain people, right? But now I'm like, no, I don't care. I don't care who you are. I really don't care. Like, I know, like, everyone has wisdom, and I want to know what they know. And we can all share and learn together, because that's what we're here to do. Like I said, we're all here to learn. I wonder if I don't think I learned wrote other notes. Okay. So yeah, that's all I have to say for now. I just want to wrap this up with that there is more. Like, this is like the whole theme of this video. There's more to learn. There's more to learn about all of this that I talked about, and there's more to unlearn about what you learned in your life. There's more that I need to unlearn. I'm doing this every day. Like, this is work every day that we gotta do. Really take it serious. Take it serious. Be committed daily. Daily. Whatever you want to do, you don't have to do affirmations if you don't want to, okay? But even if it's just some kind of thing that you can do that has to do with this, please do it. Because if you're listening until now, that is a sign that you want to change. It's a sign that you know that there's more to learn, there's more to experience, there's more thoughts that you can have. There's limitlessness. And I also I wrote there over here, learn as much as you can. Learn as much as you can. I love you all. I love you all so much. I hope you have an amazing night or day. And yeah, mwah, have fun with your learning.